everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to my YouTube channel if this is your first time of tuning in. My name is Detutu and today I'm going to be talking about my application process and how I got my first full-time job in Germany. This video is going to be in two parts. In the first part, I'll talk about my application timeline and how long it took for me to actually get the job. And then in the second part of the video, I'm going to talk about the steps and processes I went through to make the whole application process easy for me. I believe there are some pointers in these steps that I took that you might want to adopt as well to stay organized during your whole application process. And towards the end of this video, or at the end of this video, I have a free resource to share with you, and it's completely free. Like I just said, it's free and it will always be free, and it will be consistently updated should I have more information to update in this resource. So keep on watching, watch till the end, and at the end of this video, of course, after watching this video, or if you've been enjoying my content in the past couple of months, please consider subscribing. It's also completely free. You're not paying a dime, but you're going to be encouraging me to be shooting more content similar to this as time goes by. If you've seen my previous video, you can already tell that I only started sending out my applications in October of 2021. If you've not seen that video, I'm going to link it up here and also down in the description box below so you can check it out. But finish this video before you go check that out, okay? Anyway, so as I was saying, I sent my application to the current job I'm doing right now on the 8th of October. And I received an invite from HR to schedule an interview for the 4th of November on the 2nd of November. But the 4th of November was not a suitable time for me, so I rescheduled for the 5th of November. So my first interview with HR was on the 5th of November. And I think this is typical for most graduate hires that you have your first interview with HR. If you're an experienced hire, you most definitely or most likely be having an interview with your manager or your managers, as the case may be, right? So my first interview was on the 5th of November, and I received an invite for another interview which was scheduled for the 14th of November, but again that did not align with me, so I rescheduled for another interview for the 19th of November. So my first interview was on the 5th of November, and then my second interview was on the 19th of November, 2 weeks after. And I was invited for the third interview, which was scheduled for the 10th of November. And the last interview was just to let me have a better understanding of the job role and what I would be expected to do and everything. I wouldn't really call that an interview. So anyway, the interview was a 4-staged interview, and I received my offer for the job on the 23rd of December. As the perfect Christmas gift for 2021. My start date was to be the 1st of February because I was still at my working student position up until January. So I was supposed to start immediately after completing my working student position, but that did not happen because immigration issues. The whole application process only took about 2 months from the first interview to when I received my offer. 2.5 months. That is from the 8th of October up until the 23rd of December 2021. Now I'm going to talk about the steps I took that made the whole application process easier for me. Mind you, while I was still going through this whole interview process with my current company, I was still applying to jobs, because until you receive the offer, or no, until you receive your contract, okay, you don't have a job. Okay, yeah. So anyway, so the first thing I did was to make use of job boards. So job boards like LinkedIn, Stepstone, Indeed is really good, Indeed, and any other job board you might have in your country. You should use that. But in my own case, I only use these job boards as a search engine. And by that, I mean that I wasn't applying directly on these job boards, because I'm of the opinion that perhaps the role I found on this job board is not the best fit for me. So I go directly to the company website to see if there are any other opportunities that might closely align with what I want to do better than the advert I have seen on that job website. If I find a job on LinkedIn, for example, I would save it, and then I would go to the company website and go through the jobs that they have on their careers page, right? And then I would go through the job descriptions and see if, okay, I can apply to 2 positions or 3 positions in that particular company. Of course, I'm not going to apply to 6 jobs or 7 jobs in one particular company. And I also try as much as possible to apply to jobs that are closely aligned to one another. Might not be in the same department, but they are closely aligned and my profile fits this job. Another reason why I do this is because LinkedIn can be a wet blanket. Because to be honest, I'm not interested in knowing how many people have applied to this job. I'm also not interested in knowing how I rank with other applicants, because I'm just not interested. There was a time I actually subscribed to LinkedIn Premium, and then I could see how I was ranking with other applicants. Sometimes it's quite depressing to realize that you're not really as qualified as other people, so maybe you should not apply, you know. I don't want to feel that way. That is why I apply directly on the company website. What I just explained is what pertains to me. However, for LinkedIn, you have a lot of features that helps you to stand out from other applicants. So for example, you can try to optimize your LinkedIn profile, make sure your profile is up to date, has all the experience that you have, all the skills you have a picture. If you want as well, you can switch on the open to work feature that LinkedIn has now. You can reach out to recruiters or managers who are in your field that you're interested in. If you're also into writing posts on LinkedIn about your intended field, you might also want to look into that, so you're much more visible on LinkedIn and people can reach out to you should they have any opportunity in their company. So there are different ways to apply for jobs. There are different ways to make yourself stand out during your application process. You just have to figure out what works for you and what you would like to do, or what you're comfortable doing, pretty much. Something else I did was I applied to jobs that I was not qualified for. And by that, I mean that if the job description requests for a 3-year experience in a particular field, and I happen to have 2 years of the 3 years experience, or 1 year and a half of the required experience, I apply anyway. The goal for me is to make sure that I meet 60 to 70% of the requirements of the job description, because you never know who you are competing against. It might just happen that you're the best candidate in that lineup and you get the job. So, which is what actually happened to me. I applied to a much more senior role. Through the course of the interview, I was offered a junior role. I would also sometimes apply to jobs that were advertised completely in German. So far I meet the requirements, or a certain percentage of the requirements, I apply anyway. Occasionally you might get emails like this here, right? But at least you tried. Something else I do is that I do not apply with the same CV, neither do I apply with the same cover letter. So if I'm applying, for example, to a credit analyst position, a credit analyst role in Goldman Sachs is not the same as a credit analyst role in Allianz, for example. The requirements might be similar, but it's not the same. They are not even the same type of business. Your responsibilities might differ, so you need to tailor your cover letter to the job role that you're applying to, and your CV as well to the job role that you're applying to. It might be a lot of work to do this, but I would highly recommend that you align your CV, align your cover letter to the job role. I enter all the jobs I've applied to onto Google Sheet. It's easily accessible on all my devices, and I can easily refer to each time I have received a call from a company telling me, am I available for an interview? Because this has happened to me actually oftentimes, where I receive a call from HR requesting for my German proficiency, or asking for when I'll be available, when is my start date, or my expected salary. And if I have not entered that on Google Sheets, I might not actually be able to relate to what they are talking about. Most times I have my laptop opened. Okay, so I can easily just go on my Google Drive in a few clicks, and I can easily like refer to the job role and follow through with what information I already have saved on my Google Sheet. So my Google Sheet, I have the company name, I have the location of the job, I have the role I've applied to, I have the start date, I have contact details, and also updates that I receive from the company whether it's an invitation for an interview or otherwise. This also helps me to see things at a glance. You can already see that when I updated my CV to a one-page CV using Canva, I updated that on my profile as well. I also color code my sheets with red for rejections and green for invites to interviews. In addition to my Google Sheet, I have a folder where I save all the jobs I've applied to, including the dates. This helps me to easily refer to the job description without having to scroll through a whole long list of job descriptions that I have saved. So I save it using, it's a very simple thing. You just click on Ctrl P and save as PDF, and then you can title it whatever it is you want to title it. I title it this way because it's easier for me to access. I use this document and my cover letter to prepare for my interviews, because then I can easily align my experience with the job description. Because sometimes it happens that by the time they're inviting you for an interview, it's the job description is already removed from the website, and then you have nothing to refer to. But if you save this on your device, you can easily refer to it and use that in your preparations. I know it's sounding like a lot of work, right? But applying to jobs is also a job, because you're looking at different jobs that may or may not align to your profile, and then you're deciding, okay, you want to write a cover letter, you want to update your CV, and some of them have these forms that you fill aside from attaching your documents. So it's a lot of work. Sometimes applications can take up to 30 minutes. It's not just a case of sending out your application, just attach your CV. No, you have to make sure that your application stands out. And to do this, you can adopt any of the things that I have mentioned. Something else I do that I've mentioned in my video about finding an internship is I always tell people that I'm job hunting. These people are usually my friends and I tell them, hey, I'm looking to change jobs. And perhaps in this person's company, they are looking for someone, or the person hears something from an acquaintance or a friend, or just knows that, okay, this company is recruiting, perhaps you're interested, or they can refer you, even in their company, they can refer you to a position in their company. So always tell people that you're looking for a job, okay? Something else I recommend is to attend job fairs. Now, to the part that you've been waiting for, I have created a guide to help you find your internship, your next job, an ausbildung position, or perhaps you're looking for a company to write your master's thesis. I have a guide that contains over 400 companies in Germany that links you directly to the careers page. I'm going to link it in the description box below, and it's also going to be linked on my website. I have a mini website here, so you can check that out as well. So share with as many people as you can, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and tell them too to also subscribe to my channel. And let me know which of these tips that I've mentioned you're willing to adopt. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next one. Cheers.